Yeah, I'm a composer and producer. I have been for the majority of my life. And I got into the industry when I was 15 years old. I got to compose and arrange for the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, a full 60-piece orchestra where I did all Detroit-centric music, and I did it along with Sean Forbes, who's a deaf artist, and we made the show 100% accessible for the deaf and hard of hearing community. So that was definitely on, as far as scale goes, that was definitely the biggest project that I worked on. Took about 4 years to come up with. I love filmmaking. I do bring it into my world. I direct a lot of the music videos for my artists and as well as my own. But it's also a hobby of mine. I love experimenting with that and photography. I love being behind the camera and doing all that kind of stuff and making things artistic. It's still alongside of music, but it's not something that, I see a career path going down. I really enjoy doing it. So I did music composition. That's what I did. I actually, when I first got there as a freshman, I was an acting major. And that was because my whole life I was a musician. I had done music and I never experimented with anything else. So I was like, you know what? I love being on stage when I'm, performing my music. Let's try doing something like acting. And it took about 2 weeks for me to realize, nope, I love doing this, but this is not my full passion. I need to get back to the music world. So it only took 2 weeks and then I switched back to music and did that and finished that in 2012. I learned a lot of networking skills and meeting people that were not just in music, all different kinds of fields in the arts and whatnot, and even on the business side of things. I really learned how to use my product and create a brand and engage with others in a way where, we could help each other out. And making those relationships was really, really important. I mean, I still am best friends with my roommates and um, my artist, Mama Yaya, that I work with now. We went to Columbia at the same time, but we weren't close. We, in fact, didn't say one word to each other, but we had a class together, and I remember her being, the best vocalist I had ever heard at the time. And I was, it was my first year, so I wasn't really strong enough or courageous enough to go up to her and say anything yet. But over the years, I learned, and it came back to bite me because she left. I never saw her again until 9 years later. I approached her online and you know, trying not to be a creep, I told her we went to school together, we had class together. You definitely don't know who I am, but I remember your voice being amazing. We should try and collaborate. And, you know, everything worked out, and we've been working ever since. And we've put out a couple records, and, she's been killing it. And that was a relationship that I would have never heard her if I didn't go to Columbia. I see myself still doing music, but doing a whole lot more of it. I see myself doing, besides composing and producing for, records, I see myself doing scores, TV stuff, movie stuff, video game stuff. I am in the process of remodeling a recording studio here, um, a major recording studio. So I see that really becoming something huge and making that into something, um, beyond just making singles and making albums. Do what brings you joy. If you love making music or doing TV, or you like drawing, or you like something that maybe not even is in your realm yet, but you want to try it, but you're afraid to, try it. And if it makes you happy, go for that. If you figure out what you truly love to do, you will feel amazing about it every single day, even when it becomes challenging or difficult or hard. You know, doing it for the love will always pay off.